I'm quite enjoying this cathartic. I felt like I was sitting with my therapist.
Yeah, I know. I have this sort of aura around me. Come, tell me your secrets.
I quite enjoyed this therapy session, Tina. Thank you for calling me. In fact, I should pay you.
Yeah, you can pay me in kind, and by that I mean gifts, Gucci. Is she here yet? Okay, now I'm panicking.
Oh, you outdid me.
Big is always better. I'm hot.
Listen, I'm not playing this game.
Your fashion god is just fallen off. His bum is that good. Scuba diving. You want to go scuba diving? Sitting there going. Khanna, just stop talking. Now you're embarrassing.
Gopi, stop it, Gopi.
Welcome to Tea with Twinkle, and we didn't have to misspell or mangle words like K, Coffee with K, to have a fancy title.
I know, but literally there is tea in my cup. I just want to say that it's legit tea with Twinkle.
So that's why I got you all these desserts. 2 reasons. One, so you can stuff your face, and 2, because you made fun of me once. When you came to my house in front of everybody, you said, I was giving bite-sized desserts because nobody eats, and you said that, am I in your house on a Jet Airways flight? It was highly offensive, so now you better eat all of this.
But I want to tell you, you're still on a Jet Airways flight. I mean, I don't know when last I've been given desserts that look like this. And the last
What
time
about this?
But the last time in the house they were the same. Are these recycled?
We just keep them, actually they're made of cardboard.
Yeah, I feel like they're props.
Yeah.
But the tea is very good.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Now that you've made fun of all my hostess skills,
Yes.
because you are the legendary man who has these legendary parties that everyone kind of attends. Farah Khan said that she was more stressed about getting dressed for your party than for her wedding.
Yes.
How did you go from being this, what I recall, awkward, chubby, weird child into the most popular guy in town?
It was, you have something to do with my big change, and I'm glad you are asking me this question, because I remember there was a moment where we were all at my place, your mom and you, and there was this big discussion about how happy you were in this school in New Era, and I was like I suddenly started seeing that in my life, because I was very bullied, in school, because I was an effeminate child, and I was also very Raj. So I just felt like I needed a switch in my life. And when you told me about your boarding school days, or rather your experience at New Era and Panchkani, I was like, Mom, I want to go. Beautiful big trees, and like it was a beautiful school. And I went and I was like, I need to get in because you look so happy. And they were saying, Tina's doing so well, she's topping her class and blah, blah, blah. It all seemed like very rosy. So I, of course, went, gave a farewell party, made towels with my name, chaddi with my name, everything with my name written on it. It was Karan Johar, like nobody, like I was always like thinking like Karan Johar koi royalty ka naam hai ki har jagah dal do. And I packed my bags, reached there, and the very second day you told me that, why are you here? Like I said, you told me it was great. You said it's great for me. I don't know if it'll be great for you. And I was miserable. Day 2, day 3. Then you asked me to run away. I tried, failed.
You kept coming and saying you're hungry and can I find you food? And I was robbing things for you.
I was a very plus-sized child, and I wasn't. It was that food that was given to us was not enough for my Punjabi meat Sindhi appetite. And the school was great, and I really think that I failed as a human being by not really being resilient enough to last out. But when I came back to answer your question, I remember my mother was distraught that I had been so, because she's a boarding school product herself. Like she was in boarding school when she was 9 years old. So she was like, I've raised you to be a strong, resilient, and like you just turned out to be so like such a mess. And it really hit me hard. And when I went to school, back again to the same school that I was at, after returning all the farewell party presents which I had got and removing my name from my chaddi, I went back to school, and I was like, I have to change something about myself. I have to tap into who I really think I am, because I was always very shy and introverted. And I just joined something called an Interact Club. It led me to doing elocutions, debates, drama, all that. And then I remember the 10th standard, because 3 years I had become like, I went from like nobody to like this popular kid, like who was like a great at elocution and drama and debate. And at the 10th standard, they announced my name. And like how, like they call, like for lifetime achievements, they call like actor. They were like, and for the last time to perform on our stage, Karan Johar. And I came like, ki mujhe hi gold milne wala hai. And I went with that. And there was a big applause. And there was a moment where I stared at everyone, and I genuinely, I'm saying this with all my heart. There was a beat in my head that went like, I'm going to be really famous one day. From then on, I just felt like I just needed to be really famous, like do something that makes my name known in the world. Bad, good, we'll say realize. Now when I read the trolls, I'm like, maybe not. But but I was like, that's where I think that my journey began. So you have something to do with this big transformation that happened. Back to where we began.
Okay, fine. I'm really happy. I'm very grateful to be part of your journey. But tell me one thing. You just said that you were this really large, oversized child.
Yeah.
And you know, we always keep hearing about women talking about body image, about self-love, body beautiful. We never really hear what men have to say. I'm sure they go through similar struggles. How did you accept your body, and how are you about it now? How do you feel about your body now?
I haven't accepted it at all. Like I don't think I did even then. I have a big problem with fitted clothes because of that. Because if there's even like a roll that sticks out, I can't. My mind will only be on that. And even now, when I enter a pool, I look around me all the time before I enter a pool. No. But it's the thing. It's the truth of who I am, and I have to say it. Like now, I've made it a thing where I wear these oversized clothes, but I actually can't bear any tight thing. A t-shirt, a shirt bothers me to no end because I don't believe I have a waistline or the physique or the body, and I don't have the gumption to get there either. So I've just realized that all I can do is zip my mouth and not eat this cake, and probably just try my best at 50 to kind of look like, you know, presentable. To overcome that and to overcompensate for that, that's where the fashion came in. That's where I think that, you know, the bling came in, because it was like I need to do something that makes me feel good about myself, and it's not my body. You know, it's definitely not something. I don't think I have the physicality to even pose for a still, but I want to. So like, where do I begin? So all these complexes have not left me, Tina. Honestly, they didn't as a child, and they've doubled up even now, because today you're in that era where health, fitness, you know, how you look is all out there. You know, we have social media for that. When I'm changing my t-shirt, I'm still worried, like who's looking, and I'm so conscious that I'm almost changing it fast so I can get out of it into whatever I have to get into, because I'm like, somebody will look at this body and somebody will judge it. And that's why I'm like, and this has never left me. So when you ask me how have I dealt with it, there's no way I've dealt with it. And I'm 50, and you'll see that if you're ever next to me in a pool, that towel comes like very close to the pool. So, you know, by the time, it's like I drop the towel and jump into the pool no matter how cold it is, so that no one can see the in-between.
I don't want to see any more of you than I've already seen.
But it's true. You know, there was a word in the 80s that was called pansy. And it used to really haunt me, that word. It wasn't my weight to that extent, but it was that word that made me feel like I wasn't like anywhere like the other children, because you used to go to inter-school activities, intercollegiate, everything. And that pansy from Green Lawns, or that pansy from HR college, and I'm like, that's not my fucking like identity. You know, and that's what it had become. When I entered college from school, where I realized that I have to wear manly clothes. Like I can't wear like the stuff that I may want to wear. Like I'll wear check shirts, and I'll wear jeans, and I'll wear sneakers so I can fit in. I hope and pray that kids today don't ever have to go through what we did in that time. It was a different age, and I hope parents are more understanding. Like, my mom and dad were like the coolest people on planet Earth. Like, and I have to be very grateful to them, because they never questioned me. My mom never said, why are you running funny? Or my dad used to think, when I used to dance to Jaya Prada's dance steps from Sargam, he used to make me do those performances for his other friends. He never once said, why are you not playing a sport? Why don't you, you know, he never put me into those boxes. But that part, as I said, the two things, the body, sense of body, and also the feeling of personality being called a pansy, those were things that actually still haunt me. Like, you know, I still like when I see that with other kids, and I'm like most compassionate to that situation, because I know what I had felt at that point in time.
Yeah. But there's a very interesting thing. You said that you were topping your college. You were also winning all the elocution competitions, debates. And I remember, I think Friedrich Nietzsche had this theory about how you already know what you're going to be by the time you're 12. And clearly that skill, public speaking and debating, is what, you know, has landed you right here. I mean, you're an icon as much for your movies as you are for Coffee with Karan. When we were on a holiday, everybody kept coming and stopping you on the street. A, because you're 6 feet tall. B, because you were wearing fluorescent green. And C, because of Coffee with Karan.
Yeah, mainly for Coffee with Karan.
So I guess, you know, every dark cloud has a silver lining, and this was yours. You went into that to kind of find yourself, and look where you landed.
I did it all because I loved it. I mean, the reason I did Coffee with Karan is because I really wanted to do it. Like, I used to watch Tabassum. So can I tell you
I
my big
remember that
inspiration?
also, with that
My
rose.
massive inspiration is Phool Khile Hai Gulshan
Yes.
Gulshan
I
Tabassum.
remember.
Her episode used to drop once a week on Wednesdays. It was called and I used to sit like the most excited child, Doordarshan, watching Tabassum with her beautiful rose,
With her
her
beautiful
immaculately
rose, yes.
draped sari. We were once at Dilip Saab's house and Tabassum was there and I was like, I want to meet her. Like, I went like I had seen Meryl Streep. So my father used to
you've
tell me,
become
"Tu
Tabassum
kya
now."
बनना चाहता है?" I said, "मैं Tabassum की तरह बनना चाहता हूँ." So I have become Tabassum. And like he was like, "Huh?" He's like, "बेटा doctor, engineer, lawyer, कुछ तो हो." मैं Tabassum बनना चाहता हूँ because I was like, I really wanted to do a talk show. And I think she's truly iconic.
She is.
To me,
She's
she
always
has been.
been.
So when I started Coffee with Karan, it was mainly she and then of course Simi. Because Simi had done Rendezvous and there was no other talk show host. And I loved the way she conducts. Simi conducted herself in that show and she used to call people. The only thing that I wanted to do was bring two people who were not necessarily related. And then of course you run out of people and then you have to get people in their
Siblings,
families
like
and
how you
siblings.
do. Yeah.
And
Everyone in the business is now related to
and
each
now,
other.
Now husbands, wives, and now of course. So,
Yeah.
so my thing was production, direction were not even thoughts, Tina. I thought, okay, I'll never be able to do those things. I don't have the capability. This I knew I could do.
Be
Chat
Tabassum.
with people, and ask them questions.
This is how you identify middle-aged relics. We know Tabassum. We know all the lyrics to Viko Vajradanti.
Yeah, I know. My God, love
and
it.
Malik's pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Come on. Malik's pressure cooker.
खाना जल्दी पकाए, जितनी सीटी पकाए.
This is how old we are.
Malik's pressure cooker. Yes, I know them all. I know Viko Vajradanti. Those two, of course, I'm obsessed with those tunes.
Yeah,
There was also another one. I want to tell you that I was saying no one else knew that there was a shop called Babu Bhai Jagjeevan Das.
Of course I know.
And it was crazy because they kept going BJ, BJ,
Yes.
BJ.
And you loved that,
like, I didn't even know what BJ meant at that
Of
time.
course
But
you
Babu
knew
Bhai.
what it meant.
The first time I was taught when somebody said about a BJ, I really thought they meant Babu Bhai Jagjeevan
No, you
Das.
did not.
They
You
were
were
like
playing
somebody gave
doctor,
somebody a
doctor
Babu
before
Bhai
it was
Jagjeevan
invented.
Das. I was like, how can you give somebody a Babu Bhai Jagjeevan Das? I didn't know. That was the song. And they kept going BJ, 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 Babu Bhai Jagjeevan Das. Have you heard that commercial? It had all the top models in it. Listen, we have to accept our age. Now, I'm older than you also, but like, I'm like...
Marginally.
Yes, and you'll get there. Now we're in our 50s and this is... And
You
I'm,
in your 50s. I haven't touched 50
but I'm
yet,
also
but I'm
officially,
looking forward to
I'm
that.
officially going through my midlife crisis and I want to celebrate.
What crisis? You're not going through any
It
crisis.
is a midlife crisis. Have you seen my shoes? What you have on your dress, I have on my shoes. We both are
Yes.
like, we both have matched floral today.
What did I tell you?
Yeah.
Dil garden ho gaya with
Me.
happiness
With
because
that me.
you've come.
Yeah.
What people don't know, again, what you've said about college, you don't look it, I have to say that, but you were the official college topper.
Yeah.
Like this. So is that the secret to your success, that you're the brightest star in a world of not very bright stars?
Not at all. I think that if you meet many members of our industry, it's an exceptionally bright industry, but people somehow really think I'm a dumb fuck. I don't know why. Maybe I give some bimbo vibes to people. I'm not sure.
Because you're constantly only talking about sex and you keep asking people about their sex lives. That's why
what's
they
wrong with
think.
wanting to... I am only asking what everyone thinks and doesn't ask.
That's not what I asked you about
What was your
sex.
question?
I said that you were a college topper.
Yeah, and how did I land up asking people about their sex lives?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm academic and it's very important to me. And it's important for how I raise my children. I remember studying like I had to give like the most important examination of my life for my BCom exam. Your focus and discipline that education does teach you, I think nothing else does with that level of intensity. And today also, I think I make it to places on time. I'm very prepared about like the scene that I do, not the talk show that I host, because your preparation level is on altogether different level. I've just seen the notes you've written.
Yeah, we argue about this all the time.
But I don't prepare for that because that to me is my hobby. But when I'm movies, I'm prepared. So I think education has huge strengths. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. And so sometimes, when I feel like, there is a perception like he's not an intellectual filmmaker. He's not cerebral enough.
You just tell them apna mark sheet.
अरे
दिखाओ
वो भी
and
नहीं
you show
है,
yours,
वो भी नहीं है, because I'm sure some really brilliant minds are not even like academically inclined at all. But I believe in the power of education, and I believe that I want to train my children to be really solidly educated, no matter what vocation they choose in life. But you're absolutely right that when I talk to people about their sex life on a frivolous, cheesy, pun intended, cheese being the operator word, you might not know, the people watching Coffee with Karan will. But
Oh, like you think I don't watch Coffee with Karan?
no, I think you're a bit too superior for it yourself. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen this season.
See,
I have
see.
to admit.
That's my case. That's what I'm saying. You're so busy tweaking that you're not really watching. So people, there is an impression out there.
That's
frankly,
completely untrue. Both of us, I think we are still sort of holding our own because we're always watching.
Yeah.
Unlike other people, I feel that maybe, and you do it much more than I do, kind of when you spend, let's say, half a century on this planet, you grew up in a world that is obsolete. How do you still stay relevant?
relevance really comes to the fact that you really listen and stop talking for a while, and you listen to what people have to say, and also listen to younger voices. So I surround myself with a lot of Javani only because I feel like there's a generation that, like, I was hanging out with your son right now, and he just said 5 cool things in 10 seconds, and I'm like, that's amazing, and I'm glad that I heard it. Because similarly, like in my office, in the enterprise, there are so many young, and I allow them to actually voice their opinion. I always say, what do you think? Because I feel like there is so much that you can learn. And you're so lucky and fortunate that you have like kids now who are growing and in that age, they'll be saying things that will keep you alive. Instead of you becoming like this parent where you feel like, now listen to me, you have to start listening. And that's why I say, how do you remain relevant? Just listen to people. Observe, listen, watch, and you'll be relevant.
Yeah, I think the smartest people are the ones who know that they're really stupid.
Yeah.
And they don't know nearly everything that they need to know.
And also 3 golden words which people don't ever like to use. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I
They
agree.
should use that a lot.
Yeah. So you're a college topper, then you decided I'm going to make movies.
Yeah.
You were an assistant with
Aditya Chopra.
Adi.
Dilwale. Yeah.
And then you decided that you're going to make Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that journey.
It was actually weird because I was in AD on Dilwale. Shah Rukh really kind of became really friendly with me, and of course I was very in awe of him as an artist and a movie star. And one day I have no clue what made him ask me this question. It was like randomly we were sitting on the top of a mountain and he was like, you should make a movie and I'll do it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Maybe after 6-7 years. He says, no, immediately after this. I was like, oh, okay. And then Kajal was sitting there. She was like, yeah, and it was like let's play. Like it was that kind of like, she said, if he does it, even I'll do it. We'll have good fun. And I was like, oh, nice. I thought they were just being nice to me on the top of a mountain, missing home, missing their family, saying all nice things. Came back, my dad got a call from Shah Rukh and he was like, I want your son to direct a film and tell him to start working on a story. It was as simple as that. I went to meet him on the sets of Chahat in 1996. He was shooting with Pooja Bhatt Saab was directing that film. He came down for dinner, 2 o'clock in the morning, we were sitting and chatting, and he's like, tell me about your thoughts about what you want to do. And I just like roughly indicated the world that I would like to make in the film. He was like, yeah, good, sounds great, just when you're ready, narrate it, I'm on. It was like that, and I was like, I was ready a year later with the screenplay, narrated it to him, he was on, Kajal was on, it was like a dream. I was like, when did this happen? I have no idea. Like my mom was like in shock. She was so disturbed that I was getting onto set because she thought I knew nothing. She even told me the morning of the shoot, she was like, Karan, it's not too late. Even now, like abort mission. The struggles and the tough times came later, but the first 2 films were like a breeze. It was like literally after Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, did really well, got so much love, went to the biggest movie star cast, got it for Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham, all well. And I think till my father's cancer, which was during Kalhuna Ho, is the first time I think I was hit by life and what it can bring to you, And it was that time that I think that where I took stock of so much, like where I knew I had to kind of like grow up.
Your father was a very well-respected filmmaker, but it's not like other businesses like oil, steel and gas where you have a corporation and you have CEOs, CFOs running it. You took over the business and you made it into this empire, but you had to do it on your own because the movie business, it's every Friday. It's what you create. There's no framework. There's nothing. So you did that on your own. It's not...
It happened more after my father passed away. Like it happened because up to that point I was still very much in his shadow and I wanted to be. Like I didn't know literally I didn't know about funds and finances, Tina. It was crazy. I just come back from like my first award show,
You don't know about funds and finances even now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
And ask your husband, he'll tell you that. He's given me many lectures. In fact, I got a lecture from him 3 days ago. I live beyond my means. I mean, it's no, like it's not a secret. And I remember my dad, and I remember that one point I'd come back. It was my first film, first award show. I had signed a couple of autographs and rather enjoyed it. I think those were non-selfie days and so I had signed a few. So I'd come back to the office and he asked me to sign some checks and I had signed lots of love on the check.
Karan.
So my father has barged in and said, they don't want your love, they want your money. What is this? I don't know why, because I'm so used to signing autographs. I wrote lots of love with my signature. That's when I realized I had absolutely no clue about like any money. When my father passed away, it was like 4 days to the Chautha. I came to the office just to sit alone and take stock of what I'm going to do because I had no clue. And one man walked in, he said, we haven't met, I'm your chartered accountant. And I was like, hello sir, I really need you.
The other thing that people don't really know about you is that you're the Seema auntie of the movie business. You are. And you keep doing all this matchmaking. And your father did the same thing, because when I was interviewing Wahida ji, she said that her marriage was also fixed up by your father. So this is obviously some genetic predisposition to get people together.
It's in the genes. I remember Shashi uncle and Vaida auntie, with the whole matchmaking happened with Papa and Mama, and there have been some other instances also with people may not know. But I don't know, it just makes me very happy to do this. For some reason, I feel like I take on the responsibility like I really have to do it. Like it's in my life, like it's in one of the agendas in my life to bring people together. In fact, it's very strange. Vidya called me the other day. It was her 12th wedding anniversary, and she was like, because I had kind of introduced them together.
Yeah, she said that too.
Yeah, so I was like, she said, I just want to thank you. I feel I haven't said it enough. I just want to thank you. I'm like, I'm so touched with this call. More than any feedback I've got on a film, that call meant the world to me. Because I remember telling Sid, I said, Sid, I think Vidya will be lovely for you. And I remember bumping into Vidya at a Hindustan Times event, and I was like, you've never been home, come for dinner. And she was like, oh, well, I said, just calling a few friends. And she came. And I remember she walked in with these beautiful Rajnigandha flowers, and I made her meet Sid properly. And then, we all sat down, and they're married today, and happily. So I was like, well done.
I'm very proud of you. Tell me about some more matches. The latest match that you have set up.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think
Why?
When they talk about it, I'll agree. But right now, no. But there are a couple. Some that have made it to the altar, and some that will
so
also.
Which are the ones that have made it to the altar?
Why are you sounding like me,
Why
Tina?
not? No, 1 second. Then I have to ask you, if I'm sounding like you, have you had a threesome? What is your favorite position?
What?
Who do you like better to sleep with, Shah Rukh or Amir?
I have never asked anyone that question. How can I ask somebody who is better to sleep with Shah Rukh or Amir?
Okay, so I'm asking you, who do you think is better to sleep with, Shah Rukh or Amir?
Well, I have slept with nobody. Please, can we cut this out? You can ask the question, but my answer cannot be. No, I don't know. I don't ask such questions, but have you had a threesome?
No, I'm not even going to answer such things.
I'm
not on Coffee with Karan, that's why I'm not coming on Coffee with Karan.
No, but yes, I do ask a lot of questions about people's sex lives because it's
I didn't ask you about sex life. I asked you about matchmaking. Tell me about some couples that you were matchmaking and they've reached the altar.
I don't think that they would like me to go public with that information.
Why?
No, because contrary to popular belief, there are some things that I have to keep very secretive to myself.
But actually, I think you keep a lot of things secret. I mean, you may seem like you're really out there and you're talking about everything else. I've never really heard you cry about your own problems.
No, I don't, because I believe it's my problem.
You've never come to cry on my shoulder.
No, I don't. Actually,
And I've never come to cry on your shoulder either, by the way.
Well, you can. The shoulder's available.
I know, it's nice, large and broad, but
yes,
still.
it's there. It's there. It's available, always ready for you. But I really don't open up about my problems to anybody.
So now for this man who's finding everyone partners, what about you? Don't you really miss having a partner who has your back?
Who has my back, pun not intended. Yes,
I
Tina,
deliberately did that.
Yes, Tina, I do wonder why I don't have a partner who has my back. But jokes aside, so there was an entire phase when I really missed it in my mid-30s to my early 40s, I think, or mid-40s, chalo. A decade where I felt, okay, why am I so low in the love department? Like, I am feeling very happy about my professional life, but I don't have any love. I don't seem to find anybody. Everybody else is dating somebody or the other. Everyone's married, dating, happy in a relationship, living together. I have no such, I have no such, situation in my life. Then after so many years of being single, I realized that I'm so used to it now. I'm so used to being the master of my day and life, and I feel I'm only accountable to my mom and my 2 children, really. I don't want to bring in any other person anymore because, and I'm never saying never because tomorrow it could happen, but I have never been in a solid relationship for all my 50 years. There have been fleeting not flings, but I don't want to kind of dumb those down to call them a fling, but there have been fleeting instances where I felt there could be a potential relationship. It's never fructified because I'm the first one to run out always, because I also feel like I'm really messed up in that department. Because
I know what kind of people you fall in love with.
The ones who don't like me.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
You want to belong to a club that doesn't want you.
The moment like anyone's really into me, I take the first flight out. It's a big problem, and it's like that's when I've actually spoken to therapists and psychologists, and I've been in sessions and I'm like trying to understand why I'm this person who doesn't want the love to walk into my life. Like I want the love, but the moment that love becomes intense, I start feeling like really like caged, and I feel like completely like I need to exit from this zone. The moment I don't have that love and I'm chasing it, I really want it. Even after having spoken to people professionally, I've discovered that this is something that is just there in my head. It's applicable to a lot of relationships. I'm very awkward with the expression of love, but I'm okay to express it, even to friends. A lot of my childhood, which lay unaddressed, is now impacting my grown-up years, which is true to so many people.
I completely agree. I think, in fact, till you're in your 30s, you don't even realize the impact of whatever's happened in your childhood.
Yeah.
And then when you are in your 40s, you realize that everything you are has been defined
Yes.
by that period, those 10, 12 years.
Absolutely.
You know. But the other thing is, you may feel sort of confused and convoluted about love, except when it comes to your kids.
Yeah.
There, I think it all kind of dissipates.
No, it's
and
unconditional,
it's
unapologetic,
unconditional
and it's
love,
all
right?
like it's like that. That's a totally different relationship. I mean, I think, and I feel like we can put love into boxes. Like I think the one that you feel for your life partner, the one that you feel for your parent, the one that you feel for your child, that totally like the love I feel for my child is also borderline fear and anxiety and anxiousness, but my feeling for my parent is also worry and also fear,
Yes.
but it's also a lot of reverence, respect, and it's also
Responsibility,
and sometimes
right?
it's also anger, because you know, like you're always fighting with your parents, but like so they're different, and the one with your spouse is totally different. So I feel like love also has so many multi-dimensions to it. You know, it's like, you know, love is a four-letter word with at least 4,000 possibilities.
Okay, very nice line. You must use it in your next movie.
Yeah.
But you, a single parent, you decided to go through this journey very publicly, surrogacy and having children, and that was quite brave on your part. I was very proud of you at that point.
Thank you, but it didn't feel brave.
Didn't feel brave.
It didn't feel brave, it felt right. But I have to say one thing, Tina, with all the trolling that I get for everything that I perhaps do, this is the one zone of my life that I've never been trolled for. Like, I only received abundant love.
What is your parenting style?
It's very, very instinctive, you know. So I'll tell you what I'm not doing, rather than what I'm doing. I'm not doing is, I'm trying very hard to kind of protect what is said around them. To me, parenting is really about the impressions that a child absorbs, you know, which is from your environment or what they... And I'm like, we say really messed up things without realizing it. And like none of us know. And it's not about being woke, or it's not about being, it's none of that. But we say things like, you know, like, and I'm going like literally batshit crazy trying to say pink is not only for my daughter. Because I have a son and daughter, it's more apparent. Blue is not just for my son. Both colors are for both. Shorts are not only for my son, and dresses are not only for my daughter.
My daughter only lives in shorts.
Yeah, so I'm just, and then don't cry like a girl. I mean, like, please stop saying this. He's allowed to cry. Like, why are you saying this? Let them please dictate their own life choices. Don't put stuff into their head, because what they don't realize, the real essence of patriarchy comes from here. I can see around these children what all is going on, even with other kids that surround them, you know. When they go on a play date, I'm really worried about what is said to them. Because they come back, and that's one thing I've done is I've made my children very communicative about whatever they feel to me. While we may think that we've come decades away from it and, you know, we are in 2022, let me tell you, some things just haven't changed. And as a parent, I take it on myself to raise them in a very, very, very open, you know, hearted and an open-minded way. And that's, I think, what I try to do as a parent. And the other things, I mean, I'm living and learning every day because there's no rule book.
I've been a mother, I think, now for 20 years almost.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing I realized in parenting is that you have to honor their strengths and you have to make them aware of their weaknesses, but without underlining it. That's pretty much all that I learned.
My one thing that I'm hysterical about is behavior, like politeness, kindness to show to people. Like, I'm like, you have to wish people, because I was raised like that. Like, you have to say good morning, good evening, hello, good night, how are you, namaste, all those things I'm paranoid about. Like, when my children don't wish people, that really bothers me. That's the only time I really pull them up. Because I'm like, you gotta wish people nicely. Say happy, say thank you, say hello. Just greet them with respect.
So then they will also grow up to be the most popular people in town, like their father.
Well, maybe it's a legacy thing, because my parents were pretty popular. So maybe we're like this social like family, like, and then my kids are already showing signs, by the way, because Yash especially is a real hugger. Like, I have to like tell him that you don't have to hug everyone you meet. He just goes and gives big hugs.
That's really sweet. I was going to ask you, what is your legacy? And clearly, this is it. You know, you've grown up sort of being there for everyone else. Your father was like that. You are like that. And you're training your children to be like that too.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're training also. It just comes naturally. It's in our DNA, I think. Just simple goodness. Like, my father used to say 3 words that always had stayed with me. He used to say, people need people. So he says, everybody needs people. And if you need people in your life, you have to be there for people. It's simple. Simple. You can't do anything on your own. So similarly, you have to be there for them, because you will one day need them. And so it's also a strategic way.
It's not strategic. You're just kind, and you just don't want to say it. It's, I mean, I don't know a single person, including me. I've called you and I've told you, Karan, I have to host Will Smith. I don't know anything. I can't throw parties. You did the guest list. You ordered the food. You did the DJ. All I had to do was turn up at my own house. And that's it. You do these things.
It takes very little, honestly.
Only you can pull it off.
No, I mean, I think that I think relationships are important. If you make them with people, you have to stick to, like, you and I have known each other for like over 40 years now. And I'm like, what's the point if I struck a chord with you at one point in my life? If I can't live up to that relationship 40 years later, why did we even expend that energy then? So I'm in touch with my school and college friends, from people who would like to be in touch with me. I keep up with them only because I believe when you begin a relationship, you have to honor it by just continuing it. I think today communication is so much easier, so you should.
Well, we have kept this relationship for 40 years. Get up, I have to hug you.
Oh, is it over?
Yes.
I got
a 40 years.
I forgot the cameras were rolling. I swear, after this, I was like, oh, this is quite an enjoyable chat.
It's been 2 hours. At some point, we have to stop.
Sorry. I swear. I was like, oh, I'm quite enjoying this cathartic. I felt like I was sitting with my therapist.
Yeah, I know. I had this sort of aura around me. Come, tell me your secrets.
I quite enjoyed this therapy session, Tina. Thank you for calling me. In fact, I should pay you.
Yeah, you can pay me in kind, and by that I mean gifts, Gucci gifts,
that
and not the other kind.
Okay. Well, me and my sexual banter, I just take all the things differently.
Fine.
Okay. You have something to say to sum it up?
No,
it's
this
over.
is it.
It's over. We hugged each other's done. All right.
Yeah, what should I give you a hamper now?
Yeah.